Good evening, gamers. This is GreaverTV, and tonight we have a super special something for you. That would be the Gamers United map exhibition match. And we have two pretty crazy maps for you here tonight. What we did was we got 5 maps from some promising map creators, and we basically put one on each server and told people to go at it and vote for which maps they like the best. We have the two winners here. One of them is a payload map, and the other one is a 5CP competitive 6v6 styled map. And they're both from fairly reputable map makers, so we've got some interesting stuff ahead of us. I have been joined by No Mercy in the casting booth. What is up, dude?
Hey Greaver, not too bad. Looking forward to how these maps play out because when I looked at them in a server just running around, they definitely looked like they had potential, but the real meat and potatoes is when a 6v6 team takes each other on them.
Absolutely. People calling me Greaver in there. What are these crazy people doing? And, I mean, this PL map especially, this is just gorgeous. I mean, like, I don't even know if I'd spend much time playing it. I'd spend more time looking at it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very nicely, fluidly designed. I really like the, I suppose you would say, the forest theme. And it's worth noting these maps are still in beta, so I'm sure they've still got a lot more detailing and prettying up to go, and already looking this good is definitely a good sign for it.
Do any more detailing and my computer will fall over, Ali. So yeah, so this is a map by Ali. I believe he's created some other maps as well, and this is for the TF2 Maps.net payload competition. No Mercy.
Yeah, that's right. This one is PL Escarpment, and yeah, over at TF2 Maps they run these sort of competitions every maybe 6 to 12 months, just to sort of inspire map makers to have a different theme. Of course, the theme here was to make a payload map, and it has to have some sort of dynamic elements on it, which I'm sure we'll see as the gameplay goes out. Dynamic elements that, in fact, impact gameplay. And Ali, being the speed map maker, of course, is actually submitting 2 for the competition, and this is one of the by far most well prepared as the. I think it's still a fair way off May sort of competition final, but yeah, this one's already at a stage where it can get some real gameplay going on it.
Yeah, because I know you said that out of all the maps submitted so far, this one seemed to be in the best nick already, and I mean, she has 2, so that's just crazy stuff. And the other map we have is from Arnold, personal superhero of mine, because he created CP Gully Wash, and I believe we're looking at Croissant, which is a very interesting map, No Mercy.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, most well known for Gully Wash, but has been making a whole suite of maps, and he's definitely sort of got a reputation as the guy who has the most interest in making 6v6 maps for competitive, but won't shy away from doing weird and creative things with his control points and his sort of map element design. So the one we'll be looking at later is Croissant, and it's yeah, it's an interesting map. It's definitely got some strange sort of point design. Obviously, it's asymmetrical.
The map with no chokes.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, it's banana shaped, or more obviously aptly croissant shaped.
Yeah, I remember asking him about that when I did the EXTV new map exhibition, because they also cover croissant in that one. And I said, so you shaped it as a croissant? And he said, no, banana. He's very insistent. Banana. So, yeah. Anyway, these teams can't be far away. I'm just going to have a look how many we have in the server right here. We have
Looks like
6
both teams
players,
got 12.
yeah. So, we're going to quickly run through and see who's on each team. So, on the beta camp, we have Spiddy, Majak, and Combust. Majak and Combust being the soldiers. Porks and Sphinx playing Scout, and Realmy, aka Mental Realm. He will no doubt be playing Demo. Here's a beast demo. And on the SQL camp, we have Snowblind, Yurdle, JMH, Grey Hunter, Mikey, and Prime. If you don't know what classes they're playing, well, you haven't been around as long as Rerounder. That is a long time. But, yeah, so we should be getting into this real soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth noting that both these two teams, while they self-admittedly haven't had a lot of competitive practice on the map, I think some of them have looked at the map a couple of times, so they will be working it out as they go as a team to a certain extent, but these guys aren't slouches. They're both 2 of the top teams in Division 1 at the moment, so it's about the best we could sort of want for a game like this, so it should be awesome.
Definitely. That was my only qualm I had with the other new map exhibition I saw a while ago, was that they didn't have really top level teams playing on it, so I'm so excited to check out what happens with these two teams. And just before, I just saw, I'm thinking that must be an Easter egg. You can tell this was designed by a girl. A pink monkey in the trees. Well, interesting map design right there. But yeah, for this
I mean,
map here, what
it's
format?
payload, right?
What is payload?
It's going to be interesting because we don't see a lot of competitive payload games, but that's not to say it's not viable.
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
Demo Man will be probably really critical, and I'm really interested to see if both teams decide to opt to run potentially snipers at different locations, because some of the paths are really quite long on the map, but obviously you have to keep moving as the attack, and
Scouts really seem to have a decent flow on this map as well. I'm noticing, like, just there's some... I mean, there is a couple of definite choke points which have obviously been set out as such, but I'm definitely seeing quite a few alternate paths for Scouts and the like.
yeah, that's always been one of the banes of payload maps to Scout, because the maps naturally lend themselves to essentially one long path with slight detours on the side, as is the nature of the card. It can become quite difficult to realistically cover multiple flanks as a Scout, and unlike other maps where there'll always be, I suppose you could say, 2 or 3 chokes or routes, a payload map really can only afford to have one route, because no matter how you push, the cart's eventually got to go down the damn track. So
Exactly.
can be hard for teams to push, but on the flip side, if they get ahead of the cart and maybe like run the map at their own pace and let the cart follow through, then I think the attacking teams will get a much better flow as they try to attack towards the laser at the end.
This be true. In fact, yeah, I mean, you know what it's like. Oh, look, there's a heavy. I'll go down that path. Ah, there's a pyro. That's great. Thank you. It's great fun to be a scout. I think these teams are about to ready up now. I hear people talking about starting. So we're going to kick back over by this waterfall and see what happens here. I'm actually wondering what classes we're going to see here. I mean, are we actually going to see some heavy action? As you
Yeah,
said,
seeing Combust
snipers.
warm it up.
Yeah, as you said, snipers. Are definitely going to see some snipers, I imagine, on this map.
The other thing as I look around the map that I really like the look of is it looks like a really nice balance of ammo and health. One of the real problems with these sort of maps is finding the amount that suits both potentially a 12v12 and a 6v6, because I mean, while I think Valve makes some incredible maps, one of my biggest criticisms is always they don't shy away from making unnecessarily large amounts of both.
Yeah.
Which can really irritate you if you're not playing Scout, because then the little buggers just run off and get things and never die.
Pretty much.
As it looks like we're finally going live here.
Indeed. Got another 40 seconds left on setup. It feels odd to be casting something when the teams roll out and we have a bit of a setup time. Obviously I haven't been doing enough Highlander lately, but judging by the success of Highlander in Australasia in the last little while, especially the payload maps and stuff, it seems to be really popular. So it looks like Yertle's going to stick with soldiers over on the left side. Obviously running a standard Uber charge. Scouts are still kicking up by the right. No doubt they will be falling back. And seeing competitive players play a payload and see what happens.
Yeah, look, most interesting thing I've noticed so far, the offense beta looks like they are running 0 soldiers. They do have normal Uber, but sniper heavy, 2 scout. The scouts are moving out on the right. It looks like they've got a lot of room to move, as that Rewind very quickly decided that the front is just not the choke to hold, but the balcony at the first corner, and which looks like a smart decision here.
Yeah.
But the
and
heavy is moving forward
cart.
to the right.
They're moving their cart nice and quick, getting ready for that choke point.
Yeah, this will be the first real contest here, as a lot of heals being laid on Prime. They need to take down that heavy. Big headshot by Majak, taking down the demo, and Rewind are going to have to drop. They're not going to want to contest there. Oh, the Ubers are traded there. Not sure if that was something that Yertle probably wanted to do. He might have got a little caught out. Greyhound are trying to do as much with this Uber as he can. They're going to push him back to spawn. Just
Nice
that
play,
high ground
nice
advantage for the soldiers doing overtime.
Absolutely, some really good damage output there, and I didn't actually see if the red team got forced or not, but poor Pork's almost getting out up through that window, but nevertheless, check this out, they're all milling around the cart, and obviously the red team is having to fall back. I'm wondering if someone's going to go all sneaky through the right-hand side here. Doesn't look like it so far, and you can see Majak up over on the top right. No one wants to walk out in front of him. He's got a pretty lethal shot on him these days, so it's really working out pretty well for him, to be honest, no mercy.
Yeah, I like the way Rewind are playing this. I mean, that it's playing against a sniper and acknowledging the fact that, look, teams are probably going to cap out. You just don't want to be the team that caps out really quickly. By guaranteeing that Yodel isn't going to die and just playing off their Ubers and then delaying, as what they're doing now, Ubering in a second they get it. The Uber's not going to do much, but it is wasting time on the car. To kill that heavy, I'm starting to wonder if Snowblind has in fact subbed out the sniper. I think that's the right decision, just to deal with that heavy.
Yeah, and Magic right there, big headshot on Prime. Wow, big work there, and the car to stop moving for a second because the blue team is running low on players, but looks like someone else is up there causing some issues.
Yeah, numbers advantage definitely in the favour of Rewound or SQL right now, as Snowblind moving forward to try to get a big headshot. They're sitting on the cart. And I think this is where they want to be, though. The medic taken down, Magic, good headshot. And SQ, no, not sure what they're going to do. I think they're just going to go to try and trade medics here, which is all the best they can hope for.
Yeah, and it's pretty much Magic versus Snowblind over here. Neither of them can hit each other. Oh, Snowblind! Right as I say that, the caster should never be wrong, but damn right I am right now. Big headshot right there, and Snowblind goes down as well. Nice flank by that heavy there, good work, and Realmy picking up some heals before he gets toasted near that car. And,
I'm liking the location of that forward spawn for the red defense. Yodel able to, quite conveniently for his team there, pop out somewhere not 4 miles away from the offense. But it does look like the cap is going to be taken any second now, and no doubt that will move that spawn back. In fact, the door forcibly closes in Grey Hunter's face. He's forced to divert around to the right. Fairly fluid mechanic,
but
no,
watch this, check that Uber pop out. Oh, poor Realmy getting stuck on clipping points there. He can't get stuff up. Mikey trying to finish off a scout. That's not going to happen. And we've finally got a decent amount of damage going on here. Poor old man Grey Hunter. He's with his medic in the valley. This can't be a good position.
Yeah, they were forced to retreat any old dorky way they could possible to get away from an Ubered heavy. It did work out, and they've got an Uber advantage here. Yodel's on 95%. The problem is, I'm not sure what they can do with an Uber here. The cart is just about to be going over this thin little bridge. He's forced to Uber because of the demo man, and they're not going to be able to do much with this Uber, just nature of a bad position to get popped.
And all they lose is a sniper that was plus 40.
Heavy drops down.
And that's how you clean up, folks. It seems that Combus has been playing in the pubs. And
yeah, things looking very good for the beta here. I think they should just start stacking the cat. There is a sniper, and yeah, I'm not too surprised. This point, while it did look bad for Ubers, definitely looks like the one area of the map that a sniper can really do overtime, as that scout looks to be rushing forward to block him out, which is definitely what he needs to do.
Yeah.
If they can get over this, I feel like if they can get over on the entire part of the map, if they can get through this straight line that is the bridge, then it's the one part of the map that you probably just could indefinitely get held.
Yeah. And those rails on the bridge are actually keeping Snowblind from getting off clear headshots. Very interesting. He's gonna have to try and take a different height advantage. And then from there, there's a rock blocking his easiest path. So this is actually fairly well set out in regards to that. Shout out to Ali for that. And you see him trying to have that sniping battle.
Combos getting a little lost there, deciding to go under, but taking the wrong ramp up. Forced to Uber here is Beta, and they're not going to do much with this Uber. Combos is going to take forward ground, so they should be able to get down that ramp, which I suspect will be a fall.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Prime from above.
Yeah.
He's just got this great high ground positioning to just lay down stickies, and a roller door as well, which is, yeah, that's going to be a
You can actually put pipes right through the top, and they will come down right on the medic. That's a very interesting point.
I think Beta definitely need to slow this down here and think about how they're going to push it, because they can't just idly walk through that roller door through stickies with equal Ubers and just expect it to work.
Yeah.
Though getting body shots on Grey Hunter is going to be a good heads up. Yeah, I think they've got an engineer. Where's Jamie's built his gun?
It's right back near spawn. It's actually in an odd place. Spitty, Mikey finishing him off. Great work there. Actually had some people to protect him, but that didn't help.
I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that gun spot. It might. I suppose it'll turn out right now if it looks really good, but it seems like the gun can drift to the right out of its sight, and that's going to be easily shot by soldiers. Having said that, of course, Beta have no soldiers, so they're going to be relying on Realmy here to get it down.
Yeah, but the medic, of course, yeah, coming back, and oh, but look at the Uber. Ubered Scout, always a good combination, and oh, this medic. Combus is trying to slow the Scout down, and it looks as though Spitty's going to get out on 40 health.
Yeah, Snowblind had to go big there and didn't quite deliver the meat shots as he needed them.
Yeah. Poor Snowblind. And anyway, so this cart is a rolling towards last, but look at the height advantage on this last point, people. If you can get in a good position, yeah. Wow, big cleanup.
It does remind me a bit of Badwater, hey? Like going down into that death pit and the spawns from above.
You see Mikey on 1 health, running away with his equalizer. I'm just praying he falls off.
So I'm curious here where Beta is spawning. Obviously they're not spawning right back at spawn. I believe they're getting essentially a halfway across the point head start. Yep. Obviously one of the big challenges in designing payload maps is because the map is this long big tunnel is getting the right sort of lengths between the team's respawn position. Because right now obviously irrespective of the respawn timers, the defense are basically appearing right on top of the cart, whereas Beta do have a way to walk. Yep. So losing trading players here is not in their favor.
This dual height advantage thing is really interesting. Look, the heavy and the demo are upstairs. I don't even think the red team knows about it. They would have dropped the heavy out right now. They would have dropped the medic. But what's going on in this room? Oh, and the soldier's
game-winning
down there.
Headshot by Majak.
Oh, but the scout, he's on the medic. He's not going to get it. Porks and roll me down. And Majak says goodbye, Grey Hunter. And he's back in position with the medic. But what is he going to be able to do from here? Surely they're just going to jump
Jamie
on him.
Pyro on the medic.
Pyro.
Oh, he's decided to wimp out and just get the free kill on the sniper. Even that's not going to go as he planned it.
He doesn't even get it, Jamie. Wow.
But 100% Uber for both teams now. And looks like Beta know where they want to push. They want to push on the left. They want to take the high ground.
Oh, and it's
sounds good in theory, but without a soldier, I'm not sure if it's really necessary.
Yeah, and so SQL's Uber has been popped, and then of course Beta's in return. And it looks like they're going to lose their medic in there. I didn't even see what killed him right there.
Yeah, he was standing on stickies.
Oh, but oh, Realmy doing work. Prime and Grey Hunter down. Medic comes down to defend the cart, but it's all over Rover, folks. Check that out, and oh, wait for it. Wow. Laser beams. laser.
Oh, I love it.
So I'm assuming that's
good,
one
though.
of the dynamic things, along with that, with the log down there.
I would suspect that the log is the primary element, because it forces the team to stop for a good 30 seconds, and essentially the attacking team becomes the defending team for a little period of time as that log gets cleared out of the way. Let's not underestimate the laser for a visual effect as well, though.
Yeah,
but no, I really like that last push, even though really it was a failed push for all intensive purposes by Beta. They lost their medic, they lost their heavy, they didn't kill a lot of people. They had a ×7 cap while their heavy and their medic and their demo were dorking around. And who was it? Realmy just managed to buy them enough time at that ×7 pretty damn quick cart, just managed to make so much ground that all of a sudden SQL didn't have a response to it. That is the key here, guys. You're not trying to get kills, we're trying to push the cart.
Yeah, and I mean, Beta actually looks to me as though they're just having some fun, to be honest. Just the way they keep classing and just their general playstyle seems more like they're thinking of this like Highlander, but I suppose that's one of the tropes of 6v6, really, isn't it? Get on maps.
I really hate that gun placement. That is not going to do anything. Like,
well, I
it's
suppose
either
at
going
least
to
the
get
scouts can't get to the
team
health
down,
pack.
or it's just going to be like, oh, the gun's there. All right, I'll kill it. Says Prime.
You mean like right now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you didn't get
It's got its own health pack.
Oh no, yeah, it's got its own health pack. Pity it can't actually pick it up. But anyway, some big shots going off. Pork's got headshot. Mikey went down. Mike's coming back up now.
Oh, good pop.
Grey Hunter taking a lot of things. Yeah, and big pop right there. And I mean, Blue hasn't even had to pop yet. And Readers only just realised what's up. They're going to lose their medic here, surely. Whoa!
Yeah, Prime's hungry for kills.
Yeah,
he wants them all.
Right click. We got this. And it looks as though this heavy, who is that? Is that Grey Hunter? He's just going to push right up.
I feel like this is really unfortunate too, because the spot where that gun is there, that's actually like a really nice little upper sort of high ground area that the Red could have put up a solid defense, but by letting themselves get crunched forward at the balcony, which is an okay spot to hold, but not great, they've really lost the right for this much better sort of
and
perch.
Didn't even see that heavy, the poor guy. He jumped down thinking he was about to take on a medic in a demo, but no, there was a heavy waiting in the wings, so smart play by Grey Hunter there, just hide by the wall. Don't let them know he was there. And yet again, Beta with 3 players down, and that cart is a-moving.
Prime takes down Spitty while he had 51% of his crit screen charged. As Prime gets completely bounced into the corner somewhere where he had no chance of escaping. Definitely some awkward little spots in these. And this is the most choky area to get through, so...
Oh, definitely. You see that demo just raining down spam, Realmy, JMH getting too close.
Yeah, this is all about the demo here. And that gun is going to help as well.
Yeah. Oh, you see Snowblind not able to get a decent shot off, and he's taking too much damage. And of
Despite all
course,
the damage, though, they are still moving the cart. They're moving through this crucible. The medic still hasn't got back up, and I think they... Beta are in the awkward position of knowing that they're like 90%... Like, I'm pretty sure Yoda will have Uber by now, unless something really unfortunate happened.
Wow, like Pork's getting a massive headshot right there. Oh, and JMH getting a big one on Magic, and then Realmy's going to get toasted by that heavy surprise. And it's only Spitty left up, and I mean, they're chasing him, they're not letting up.
Yeah, losing all their players there. They managed to keep their medic alive, but getting through that area without popping the Uber. In fact, there we go. Prime is going to finish off Spitty, so definitely MVP for the attacking team here is the Demo Man. And Yoda is still 100% Uber. They look like they're going to take a commanding lead into this last point. I don't know if Beta are going to have time to set up a big defense, but they've got to do something soon if they want to hold for a good 5 minutes here.
Yeah, I'm just hoping they don't chuck players willy-nilly like Mad Jack, but obviously he was trying to go for a pick of some sort.
Yeah, it looks like Beta have gone into the mentality, we have to get lucky and do something desperate to get it back, which I'm not sure is really necessary, but it's their decision, and if they want to play the high variant strategy, then good luck to them. As Porks is pyro from above, he's waiting them to go through the roller door, where he's going to drop down on them from above. There he goes, going to take out the pyro. As the whole of SQL are moving forward to just spawn camp and get the dominations, but the cart is no longer moving.
Yeah, they need to get that cart moving, but I mean, again, it's only Porks up. Realmy's coming up now.
From above, no luck.
Wow, he got shut down easily.
See, one of the downsides of a pyro is a pyro relies on afterburn damage often to get his kills, and SQL is sitting on a moving dispenser.
Yeah, this is true. And yeah, pity we didn't see any nice reflects there. That could have been awesome. But this Heavy is surely playing with fire, because I can see a JMH has his sights on him. Snowblind and Prime going down there. Wow, Realmy work as usual. And we're going
yeah, he's doing it without a medic as well. He's doing a really good job as Demo, knowing which chokes he wants to lock down, not just sort of moving forward and killing everything like Prime, but picking his doorways,
this is a good
just
point.
making maximum life.
Oh, and Magic getting out those body shots. He's got, honestly, he's got the best view. If this medic keeps him buffed, I suppose he's got a, as you can just see there, he's got a dispenser right there pretty much. He's got an awesome vantage point, but not if JMH has anything to say about it. SQL all over this, and that medic's going to have to pop. That medic, no, he doesn't have it. Spitty, 79%, he goes down, Porks goes down, and whoop it wow. And
that's the round.
Yeah, that's it. 4-4, good match.
Yeah, for those wondering, we are just playing the one round of Gravel Pit, Escarpment before we move on. But overall, I'd say that was a pretty exciting sort of game. It definitely looked like SQL had the clear upper hand on the push. They never really were slowed by Beta despite having sentries. And I think a lot of that had to do with just the damage output Prime was putting, forcing early Uber pops. Which is unfortunate, but going back to that first round, there definitely was some good to and fro's on the map, and while obviously PL isn't the standard comp style, I was definitely pretty impressed with how it played out, to be honest.
Yeah. Righto, we are going to wrap that up right there, people. We will be back for CP Croissant B13 in just a moment, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. Righto, gamers, we're back. Of course, this is GreaverTV, and this is the Gamers United map exhibition. And we are covering, I believe it's PL... What do you call that again? No Mercy?
The first map was PL Escarpment, but this
PL Escarpment, right,
is, of course, CP Croissant.
Lovely name, lovely name. Called CP Croissant because it's shaped like a banana. The words from the mapmaker's mouth. Crazy stuff right there. Of course, I'm joined by No Mercy, as you just heard. How are you doing, dude?
Yeah, I'm good. Enjoyed the first map. This is definitely the one I was more excited for a 6v6 comp on though, but definitely enjoying how the whole 5 maps have been going overall.
Yeah, and I mean, I've already had the pleasure of casting a exhibition match on this before, and it was a very interesting game to say the least, so quite looking forward to this. I like to refer to this as CP Croissant, but well, it'll be interesting to see what these teams do on the first rollout, actually, what sort of strategies they employ for it, because, of course, this map is, it doesn't have much in the way of choke points, No Mercy.
It doesn't, and I did watch that cast, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago that the two teams over at XTV did run it through this map. Between then and now, there are some notable changes on this map already, both on, I think, on every single point.
Yeah, definitely. I actually got almost confused when I had a look at it because it was so different. And I'm told that we're actually using B13 and another one is being released in the last few days or so, B14.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, yet again, we are talking about the map maker, Arnold, who has crazy love in the community because he created my favourite map, CP Gullywash. And he's created a whole host of maps. I believe CP Bazillion is also Arnold's. And yeah, he's just done some awesome work as well. So very interesting to see how this plays out, and especially see how these changes have come along. Because this second point's really interesting with the sunken pit of a cat point.
Yeah, I really think a lot of the feature of this map is the dynamic at mid, which is really something that you've never seen before. I mean, the point is on the left, and both teams sort of approach it from the same side, and there's these sort of close battles, but now also there's these even longer paths, so the different high grounds, there's definitely a weird sort of dynamic there. And then of course this sort of middle point to second point almost reminds me a bit of Yukon, like this kind of long tunnel, which is definitely spam friendly, but not too choky, and there is alternate paths, so it's not like just one way to go, but...
Yeah. Prime has an excellent rollout here, but he's not as fast as Realmy. Realmy with an awesome rollout. He was waiting on mid, and Prime hadn't even got there. Prime's getting spammed out. He's having to fall. Porks is low as well, and Realmy goes down. So this is a demo advantage for the red team. So they're losing a lot of ground right here, and of course with the lack of chokes, they're having to fall right the way around.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right there. Realmy got there a lot quicker, but I'm not sure if it paid off for him, as Prime rocked up 5 seconds later and went, oh, I guess I'll kill you. That's Pork's going huge, getting a double kill there on Soldier, Primary Soldier, Grey Hunter, and Demoman Prime. That's definitely going to hurt SQL's chances here, as they are forced to retreat. Things are getting a little sloppy. There's only 2 alive. Scouts alive for SQL, but they're on low health, but they may just be enough to sort of protect this midpoint and reassert some dominance.
Yeah, and I was just watching Snowblind as he got a little bit forward there. He checked out what's happening, and now they're all regrouping. And the SQL team is going to push in on this crazy second point. And,
not sure if I like how Beta are holding this at the moment. It seems a little bit undecided. Wrong side of the door, they're conceding a lot of ground. And their demo is going to get isolated in the pit that is the point. Once you fall in there, there is no backing out from the defensive side of things.
Absolutely, and I mean, they've just steamrolled through here. There was not much of a defense there, and they're, of course, losing their demo. Soldier's going to go for that mid straight away, and of course, Spitty doesn't actually have Uber yet, although neither does Yurt. But they lose Comba, so this is a 2-player disadvantage, including a Soldier. And this Scout's going to have to be careful. Look at Soldier versus Soldier, both go down. Yet again, that's another player down for Beta, though, and the Uber is being forced. So this is the blue.
If Spitty gets his Uber up here, he may be able to save it, but no, he's in fact not going to, and that's pretty crushing.
Yeah, and that was close, but wow, Realmy doing work is on the point. It's not going to matter.
Wow, diving combats just in time. I think the respawners there came a little faster than SQL were quite ready for them. I was pretty much ready to call that round over. I guess that's what happens when you sit your med on this point. That'll be something to remember for next time. Cap the point, but don't put your med on it.
Yeah, and we see Prime up here getting a bunch of stickies up close. And there's a 2 times cap on that point, and of course the Scout can get out of there. But they're going to have to be quick because the whole team's about to roll in. Looks like those Scouts know what is up. They look, bombing Soldier from behind though, goes for the medic. And Yurtle is down, Combust with an amazing pick. really well thought out. He has obviously had a look at this map and identified that he could sit down there, and if no one checked, he had a good jumping position. Well played.
Yeah, it was a good job by them. Rewan probably shouldn't have wandered their medic over on that right path. Responding suicides going in here. Mikey getting some good clean rockets, but ultimately taken down. It looks like this last point is just going to get rolled. We're in a 2v3 here, and Yertle is still alive, but not healing anyone, as he obviously despawned.
Yeah, and of course Prime's with him now, but Combus is pushing out here. Why isn't he on that point? I thought he would have had a look at that. He would have been able to see you. There was obviously a little bit of miscommunication there, and Beta is still holding on last point at this stage.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised as well. I mean, second point definitely looks like a real beast to try to re-push off last. Not because of the location. It's pretty easy to get there. They're pretty much next to each other through a big fat wall. It's just, it's not a fast cap. It's a very slow cap, and in fact, it's a fairly large cap area, so... Yeah. Difficult for teams to re-push off, so I like the decision not to try to commit to the re-push there. I'm not really sure what Bombast is thinking, just getting a little creative.
Yeah, must be. And, of course, the whole team can roll them behind you. They'd usually be at a bit of a disadvantage, but if they quickly roll through this exit sign to my right and roll across that point, there's not much you can do about it. You've got 2 scouts on that point, you're about to get a 2-scout disadvantage, but we've got a massive bomb coming in here. Look at this soldier, that's Mikey goes down. Uber is being forced. And Spitty and Realmy go down. That is a lot of power gone.
I want to say it's over, but I already said that once.
Yeah,
as the bombing soldiers coming in.
The casters cannot be wrong, but I think this time you are right, Mr. No Mercy. And they still had Sphinx up. I didn't actually see where he was, or did he just respawn?
He was just on the respawn wave there. I didn't mind the way Beta were holding that. They were really holding the high ground, and definitely is I think the thing you want to do. Demo Man sort of clogging up that thick spam, but not having a scout up there allowed the soldier to bomb them a little bit too easy. It's not the tightest choke in the world, so SQL were kind of able to overpower on the high ground.
And Realmy choosing to go slightly slower on this rollout, reserve his health, but he still takes a lot of damage anyway. Scout getting in his face, and of course Sphinx going down early there. Took a rocket, that was well placed. And Realmy going down as well. All of a sudden, Red Team is in so much trouble. They're in a world of hurt. Is the soldier going to be able to put in the damage? There's a medic on that red soldier. How did he get out of there? He got stuck on the wall. No, Magic is not going to get out of there. He's mad dead, son. And Scout Jewel down the bottom. And, of course, Porks cleaning up JMH there. Nice work by Porks.
Yeah, it definitely looks like the SQL scouts are starting to show why that they mean business. A lot of just really dominant DM there by them as they got to the point pretty much the same time as their team's demo mans, but just much more aggressive play, especially by Snowblind, taking ground.
Yeah, and Realmy getting Grey Hunter just there. And the Ubers being forced, both Ubers have been popped. Now let's see what positioning these teams choose to take. As we can see, the blue team falling back onto the point here, but losing the medic. Very nice pick there. Big damage everywhere. Only 2 players left up on the red team. We are actually
Beta need to stop dorking around and push.
Yeah, and look, scouts from behind, they're going to get cleaned up. 2 times cap, and then the Grey Hunter's up. And what is the Grey Hunter going to be able to do? The Grey Hunter is going to back the hell out of there.
So they need to be careful here. Walking along this thin path, Beta towards middle, there's definitely opportunities to flanks. They've got scouts covering the right, which is nice. And they're only on 55% Uber, but that is still a large advantage over Yertle. They may be able to just bully Prime out of here, though. The
soldier just had a look at Grey Hunter. Grey Hunter's going to get him at this rate. Oh, well, what is going to happen here? Grey Hunter gets him, gets cleaned up by that scout, so that's even right there. Let's go have a look what's happening on mid. We've got lots of action. What just happened?
Prime just happened.
That's fair. Like, I mean, you know, usually if someone said that,
look, he had,
right,
like, it wasn't even the particularly good play. Prime should have got annihilated, but I think Beta were just so starstruck that a demo would be so ballsy as to just walk at them. They're like, what is he doing? And then it just worked, and he killed everything.
But they summoned the beast right here.
Forced Uber.
Yeah, forced the Uber, but Combus not able to do anything. They got lucky with their back out there. That could have turned to shit. 82% Uber. They could have gone the other way. It did not, though, and now Beta with a 2-player disadvantage. But Yertle
yeah, Beta falling apart here.
Yeah, and
Snowblind is on the medic. He's going to get him. That's a good pick from under. They knew he was there, but they just can't seem to be controlling this area. It's interesting how this last point, despite being elevated, really just seems so incredibly vulnerable. There's health packs and paths to wander under it. There's a even higher ground up on the right to spam from. It's definitely not a safe place to be, and every time Beta seem to plonk bodies on it, they just get killed.
Yeah, I noticed the same thing. I kept thinking to myself, you know, like, get up on the point, get up on the point, but every time they do, they just get spammed to all buggery. But anyway, let's have a look on this mid, and 4 times cap already. Check out that Pain Train demo. Mental Realm going down again, though. Big bomb, they get rid of Prime. They've obviously decided they don't need him. And some pretty big damage going around everywhere. Of course, the medic is down for beta. Only got these scouts left up. One is up over by the spire. This is the last scout. That's Porks. He's having a little duel, and the soldiers are going to come down here and smash him.
Yeah, it was an interesting rollout choice by SQL there. They ran the bulk of their players essentially the normal path, but Prime elected to take the far left, drift up towards this new high ground area. Wasn't really spotted because of the thickness of those planks. Got himself into a position and would just rain stickies across from his high ground onto the point, getting some really good spam damage, killing the demo, and essentially negating the beta scouts. That was pretty much the backbone for the ultimate win as the soldiers then arrived and mopped up low players.
And we've actually got a sniper just here. Gonna see.
Yeah, this isn't going to work. They're not even pushing that way.
Oh.
It's unfortunate too, because the usual pushing path, unfortunately the red demo man, that is of course Romy, sitting on the point, has spotted it, laid stickies on that lower door, forcing beta to rewind to readjust to the high ground.
Yeah, and of course Mental Realm goes down 2 times cap on the point. Scout underneath, he's not going to get there. Soldier bombs in, both soldiers bomb in. Oh, middies, that's what we came to see. Big middies, not going to matter. 3 times cap, and SQL asserting their dominance right here, no mercy.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, this is a really commanding performance by them. Prime and the scouts definitely taking control of the rollouts, and they're winning off the back of that. Most of these points, I don't feel like it's been a good indicator. Losing medics too early and just beta really need to consolidate their rollouts, and if the rollout is going badly, they need to not lose everyone so that they can set up a legitimate defense on second and first point, especially second, where I feel the real strong defenses lie.
Yeah, hard out. And well, nice kill on JMH there, but Realmy, Porks, and Sphinx going down. Beta is just backing out of there this time. And I find it really interesting that the team seem to spend so much time at this midpoint, you know, chucking spam through those little corridors. Look at this nice little jump by Combust. Is he going to go down? Is that not even Combust? That's not Combust. That was Magic, but he's going to go down as well. Leaving Spitty with no one to heal on 83%. Sends a crossbow. The scout decides that capping the point is more pertinent. Good work there, whoever that is.
Yeah, he should get this Uber up just in time to defend. Yeah, the beta scouts dying early every rollout is really hurting SQL, rather beta's chances of setting up a good defense. As Ubers are traded on the point, the fast lower push by Grey Hunter and Yodel caught beta by surprise, but they were quick to respond with a Uber of their own. As yeah, all positioning and control is pretty much lost for beta here. They're trying to get a bit of positioning back on the high ground with Mental Realm, and maybe just win a couple of desperate DM battles. But I do think they're going to hold here, which should be just fine, as they can grind up another Uber, set up properly on the high ground. They just really have those 2 chokes to cover, the lower middle door and this sort of long path at the top.
Well, it's only 2 chokes really, so yeah. It's just this long choke. It's actually, I think it's a really interesting choke point. I mean, I know that it's quite devoid of choke points, so therefore it's amazing. It's like a choke point. But just watching the way they try and spam each other down here and seeing the sniper plays, trying to pick that out. And then, of course, just watching the demos trade spam down there.
Yeah, exactly.
100% on both sides.
Yeah, I'm glad to see a 6-man, 100% Uber, but this is the real test to see how this sort of defense goes. I do feel like they're a little bit thin of players on the left. If SQL just decided to bolster through on the left as they did last time with the diving soldiers, there's just too many numbers there, which is what they're doing. Gonna force trading Ubers, and I think Yodel and his soldier have got themselves a little bit isolated here. They've split themselves off from the rest of their team. But Prime, here we go. They've snuck in high ground. Everyone has overreacted to that combo and gave up high ground. 4 kills though. That is some really good DM by Magic and Realmy.
Yeah, that was actually not bad by Spitty there. I don't know if it should have gone that way, but he saves his soldier, and whether they intentionally did it or not, they split that combo up away from the rest of their pushing force. So yeah, that did work out pretty well. We'll have a look here. Beta has got a lot of players up. SQL Oh, the scout's gonna get roasted. No, is he gonna get
Speedy's
out of
risking
there?
his own life. He's got to get back here.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to risk the point while his team is capping.
Yeah, Snowblind managing to get a kill and get out though.
Yeah, it's not the easiest of midpoints to push across with 3 or 4. I mean, they're all essentially close together, but a lot of different paths to run across. 100% Uber advantage here, though. I'd like to see them make something of this.
Yeah.
Lost both their scouts, so that's pretty sloppy. They're not going to be able to off that. Unless they get lucky. A scout on the med.
Scout.
He's going to hold Uber, which is the right choice.
That's Snowblind. Oh, but the demo forces the pop. Really well done, but the soldier's going to jump around from the side. Have they called that? Doesn't matter because they got that Uber. But now this combo is going to have to try and back out of there. What is going to happen over in the spam alley? The medic getting bounced. We just got damage everywhere, no mercy.
Yeah, it's interesting the way I'm watching this sort of beta try to set up their defense. They feel like the safe place to defend is behind the roller door, and that certainly is true, but they're losing so much visual information that it's just like, because if you sit behind that roller door, you have high ground, you have a door to sticky, which is great, but you have no idea what's going on outside, and
wow,
a couple of times I've just been caught by Prime not spotting him.
Yeah, and poor Porks before trying to push through the choke. Wow, so it seems the demo spam falls in a nice position. Their medics will have to watch that. Prime position for a medic to hold and keep an eye on what's going on. Probably means they'll take pipes, but Combus going down, and all of a sudden the beta's looking a little bit shaky here. They might even lose their demo, but Uber's pop, Snowblind and JMH go down. So they actually got players out of that as they pop the Uber. And their demo's going to go down to a jumping soldier. And roaming,
yep.
Yeah.
Having to Uber first on defense, even if it's the quote-unquote best time to Uber, is never a good thing, as was shown there. He uses Uber to save his demo, which was definitely correct, but they weren't able to force a multi, and just 3 extra seconds of Uber was enough for SQL to really just assert a dominance, get the kills they needed, and now with only 2 up, this respawn wave is going to have to be pretty quick for Beta if they want to salvage this final point.
Yeah. And big pipes on that soldier managing to survive. He's got the equalizer out and he goes for it. Oh, combust on Yurdle. Do work, son. Big stuff. 1 scout left under the point there. Oh no, that's a soldier. That's Greyhunter, is it? Oh no, JMH got toasted before I can even look. And so we've got a 2 times cap out on this point. It's only Greyhunter up. I don't even know where he is, no mercy.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure either. It's interesting how big the territory that is the last cap point is on Croissant. It seems very easy for teams to block it. Like it's like the SQL is struggling to cap the point while having numbers advantage, because it only takes that one sort of dude just kind of dirtling around. In that case, it was Speedy running across the point with an Uber saw out. Did absolutely nothing except save the point for 3 seconds, and that turned out to be the decider there.
Yep, honestly, the general design of a second point is just, it's really tripping me out. I keep just analysing it and wondering what will happen with certain pushes. But talking about certain pushes, Beta loses both of their scouts on the way, and they have a scout behind them. Yurdle's coming up on 93% Uber as a back cap gets underway over here, and there's more players jumping around, causing carnage, and Spitty goes down. Look at this, and Prime, he's going to left click, right click, catch you up, Realme. The Uber's been forced though. Good work, Magic.
It's definitely the consolation prize here, though. I think they would be content to Uber there. Going to just bolster their way through life. Combust once again.
You've missed out on the car. Have some baked beans. That's pretty much the extent of it.
He's on the medic. He went for the blind midi and looked up, and the medic wasn't even nearly there. Bounced off some objects in the sky. But Prime is in a great position. I love the way SQL are now pushing this.
Whoa, nice jump by Magic. Not going to help, but nice jump. 2 times, 4 times. Yep, so I mean, this is going the way I would have predicted it to go, but not necessarily for the exact reasons I thought. Just, I don't know, it feels as though they definitely have the scout and demo advantage on SQL, though.
Yeah, Snowblind and Jamie I know slouches, and if you keep track of them, they won't take over the game, but like any good scout, if you just kind of let them do what they want, it's going to get pretty disgusting pretty quickly. And on a new map,
good way to put it.
Paths,
That's a very good way to put it.
Yeah.
Oh no, the bombing soldier.
Oh, Prime's getting ballsy here. He's going to jump into a soldier, and they're going to turn. Really must have had no rockets loaded. That should have been a free demo on your silver platter, but oh well.
And instead, JMH got a bunch of low players to finish off his favourite food.
Scout for Jamie forced to go back and get the cap. They got a little bit too overeager on the push there. They will get second for free, which is nice. Though it feels like this game second has been maybe it's the changes that he's made or that Arnold made, but in the last game I felt like second was definitely the deciding point to push, and last was the tough one to hold. This game so far, second defenses have been really quite shaky from Beta, and the last have been the ones they've been able to pull out, as they've got a sniper again.
I would actually love to see this map. I'm not saying I'd like to play it in 6v6 based on what I'm seeing, but I would really like to see what would happen with this map given a lot of time, like given a good season of play, what strats would come out. But either way, look at that, 5-0. Let's have a look at the time. That took a grand total of 18 minutes and 40 seconds. So, SQL, I mean, you know, they asserted their dominance and stuff, but look at that, JMH Gully. We've got Gully for Ozfortress. That would be a shout out to Arnold, but what are your final thoughts on this?
I bet they didn't even know. Yeah, I was impressed. I mean, when I first saw this map, it got a lot. It's been getting a lot of hype, and I was a little bit skeptical. Didn't really like the way it's shaped, and just some of the things in. But the way I see it play, I'm liking it more every time I see it play, and seeing some of the changes and seeing how interesting they are, sort of change the mid dynamic, definitely gives me hope that this map will just keep evolving, and if it's not good, then it'll be fixed. There's a lot of feedback and a lot of editing, and while that was a whitewash, but like let's face it, one team was just better, and I do think that I'm going to be keeping an eye on this game, Matt. I mean, I don't think it's near completion yet, of course, but as it gets closer and closer, I'll be looking to see if it gets more and more play, and we'll be probably trying to plug it every chance I get.
Indeed. Right, well, we're going to wrap that up there. Obviously, we're trying to get in touch with the map makers. If we don't get a in-person interview of Arnold and the like, we will definitely have all of the map makers we actually featured from tonight, even the ones who didn't get any playtime in our exhibition. We'll have some stuff up with them. So yeah, make sure you keep an eye on ozfortress and Gamers United for that. Again, massive shout out to Gamers United for putting this on for us tonight. They already provide pub servers, comp servers, mumble servers, and everything for us in the Australasian and New Zealand and everywhere scenes. But yeah, this is a really good idea. So shout out to Ice Queen for organising this, along with obviously WM for helping her. And thank you to you, No Mercy, for sussing out the maps for us and seeing what's good. So I think you made some good choices tonight. So thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Righto. Yeah, so we may be back with an interview shortly. If you're watching this on YouTube and it all of a sudden ends, you know that we couldn't find any map makers, but hopefully we will be back with that. This is GreaverTV. I am Greaver. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Catch you later, people. If you like what you've just seen, click on the links to check out more Team Fortress 2 coverage by GTV. Remember that you can help us promote Team Fortress 2 by subscribing and liking the videos.